chip away, and build a lead. France, like we say, world number one on this season's Olympic ranking race, and world champions. We caught up with them in their semi-final against Italy, and they were nothing short of dominant. 45-24 is a comfortable win. But we're about to get underway now. Daniel Berta, who will be closing for Hungary, he's opening up on our left. Ronan Gustin will be opening up for France. The Hungarian team, Berta, Andras Radli, individual champion Gergely Silkloshi, and on the bench Tibor Andrashvi, who came on against Russia and had such a devastating leg against Nikita Glazkov, and really drove a wedge into that match and put Hungary into the ascendancy. France, Ronan Gustin, Alex Bardenet, and the colossus that is Yannick Borel, three-time European, 2018 world champion. It's a very strong French lineup. See immediately the French dropping into where they're comfortable, sitting back in their half of the piste. Berta, great acceleration for Gustin, just so good against the Italians, who are just stepping in and then fading away and catching on the wrist or on the hand, making the best use of that long French pommel grip that he uses. Berta accelerates from space. He can just really stretch, long levers, long legs, long arms, and he's just able to really stretch into that attack when he wants to go. It'll be a real danger for Gustin and the French if they aren't able to get on top of his attack and prevent it. And you see it again, and Gustin's just skipping out of the way, maybe starting to find the distance on it. You saw the threat of it in that first action. Cagey opening, we've come to expect this from this competition. Getting close now to that minute. And Gustin, exactly, trademark from Ronan Gustin. He fades in, he draws the counter. 1-1, just over a minute remaining. Saw in the semi, surprise from Berta. He's so fast and so direct. There's very rarely time to do anything except get out of the way. But again, Gustin. Into the final minute now, which means the threat of the unwillingness to fence rules is gone. So they'll be able to fence a little bit more freely now. Cagey start, pretty much what you'd expect. You saw the damage that was done to Italy in the semi-final. 3 points down in the first leg, and then from there they were just always playing catch-up on the score. Seconds approaching now. You sense that they'll both be pretty happy just taking this one, getting out at 2-2. And that's exactly what happens. So 2-2 it is. Match with them looking to just not let their opponent get on top and get on a roll. We saw in the previous match, in the bronze medal match, it was the second leg that Heinzer and Santarelli, who would be the big scorers on the Italian and Swiss teams, saw them really try and go and get at each other in the second leg. Interesting to see if this mirrors it. You can see Borel just immediately on the press. You know, he loves to press forwards. Got such an explosive flesh, particularly when he's being pressed. He's got that ability to just turn that into offense in no time whatsoever. And it was a huge weapon against the Swiss, landing 3 or 4 in the same match against Stefan. There's the flesh, but Borel's got that flesh from Sikloshi was almost unstoppable from from the Swiss, and it became a real weapon in how they built their lead. But Burrell dealing with it nicely there. Burrell flashing forward, but he gets in so close and he's so strong, so physical. He can clear out Sikloshi's blade and just land his own on the renewal. Remember going up to 10 in this leg. And there it is, that's the weapon. Very accurate. Both got a lot of hits to work with now, though. Might start to creep up as we work through this second minute. Again, as they get in close, it's Burrell who's able to deal with it. Sikloshi calls for the video. No card, the touch stands. Still over a minute to go in this. We could still get more points, may get close to the target score of 10 as well. And there's the flesh from Sikloshi. Such a consistent action for him. And this time is very similar to what he did yesterday, his winning hit. Somewhere between a flesh and a ducking attack, where he just drives forward but then drops. Makes it very difficult to counter. This time, though, Burrell has got an answer for the flesh. He drops low. Nothing to separate these two. Sikloshi's flesh has been a weapon. Burrell's been equal to it as well. Burrell's own flesh, a weapon as well, on the individual scoring in this. 9-8. One more will take Burrell to the target score of 10. You're right that this has been a real acceleration in the scoring from the two real leaders of these teams. And again with the flesh. So difficult to defend that you just know he's going to look for it. 42 seconds, you know that someone's going to score this last point. And there's Sikloshi. Burrell wanting his weapon check. 10-9, we go into the third. Exactly what advantage Hungary. Andras Redley now on, taking on Alex Bardenay.
Deutlichem Rückstand, wobei Gerbil Sikloshi als derzeit Qualifikationsführender für die Olympia-Quali.
Against Italy, Bardenay was mostly rock solid except for one leg in the middle where he absolutely destroyed Enrico Garozzo 5-1. Vance will be looking for something similar. Bardenay here. You can see immediately that one-hit lead and Redley just dropping back. He's so confident in his final 2 meters. He's all willing to use every last inch of the piece to set up his defense. It makes it so difficult. Bardenay has given himself a lot of time though. He's pushed Redley quickly down towards the piece, so he's got a good 30 seconds to work back here. Redley lands, but it's after he's passed Bardenay, so no touch. .30 seconds gone. We're into 30 seconds before the unwillingness defense rule kicks in. Tangle, no touch. See here, Bardenay still got 20 seconds. There's a long time in which he needs to score. You can definitely feel he doesn't want to bring this these P yellow cards and P red cards into the fray. He doesn't want them getting involved at all. But Redley's defense is so strong. There's 10 seconds left for him to work with. And there it is. Eventually that, and then their defense goes, they just go to work with their defense. Bardenay's going to have to do it all again. He's going to have to press Redley all the way down the piece, all over again. Start setting up, because you just know that Andras Redley is just going to drop, hold his position, hold his shape. And just pick. Bardenay having to press, still having to push. Distance opening up, really starting to get close here. And this is where Redley has been dangerous. And again, every time, he's just keeping his point on time. He's got time, and he's so direct. 4 hits now, the lead. This is the first time the French have been really put under pressure in this competition. Bardenay just looking to start his actions earlier. Doesn't want to let Redley back away and get into the safety of his, get into his 2-meter box where he's so strong. Redley keeping far to the left of his work behind his point. You just feel that last point from Sikloshi in the second leg. Just gave 1 hit. That's all it needed, 1 hit, and it just allowed Redley to be the one who could drift, who could drop back, allowed him to be the one who could retreat and invite Bardenay onto him. From that, he's been able to score 4 points. Only point that Redley's been able to score has been this double hit on the last one. Into that final second now. Hungarians will be delighted with how this went. And they get to bring Augustin, so effective against Italy when they had the lead. How will he be now? He's got work to do here. And it's already France are having to walk the tightrope between pressing and going and getting this lead back, but not opening themselves out to be scored upon as they do so. Seconds gone. And what Sikloshi did so well against Russia, when he had the when he was leading, he didn't drop immediately. He pushed forwards first, and it meant that when the P yellows started to come into play, he had a lot of time left to go. So there's only 10 seconds left on this clock before Augustin will incur a P yellow. So he's got to be looking to go any minute. Yellow for Augustin. And by Sikloshi not really giving ground, it means it's very, very hard for Augustin to force the issue.
Sollte sich das wiederholen, erhalten dann beide Fechter eine rote Karte und damit einen Straftreffer.
Now in slight, just pinned down maybe even more. Sikloshi just does not give that ground, and it just Makes it so much harder for Gustin to work the clock because he's still got to push Sikloshi all the way. Sikloshi's just not letting him. And there's the flesh. Builds the anxiety in Gustin, making him worry about the clock, making him worry about how he's going to get his light on. And then there comes that flesh. Such a weapon from the Hungarian. And this time he picks around the wrist. Six hits the lead now. We're only in the fourth leg. Hungary looking strong. Who's going to put their hand up and be the one to really push on and take control of this for France? And this time, Gustin's able come back. Hit's been awarded. Hit's been awarded, so no infringement was found. Into the final 15 seconds now. Been a really good leg from Sikloshi. Two points scored, but importantly, it's not Bardenay after all, it's Canon substitution. So France have gone early. They've substituted Bardenay for Canon.
Die ewige Diskussion die Passivitätsregeln haben wir jetzt gerade auch live in Action erlebt und wurde mitsamt der Möglichkeit, dass schwarze Karten verteilt werden können, auch von der internationalen Athletenschaft der épée unterstützt.
We've seen it in every match today. 5-hit lead starts to become a real issue. Canon full of energy, his first time on the piece today. He wants to go in and score, but Berta 6 hits the lead now for Hungary. Score points not really an issue for either of them. We can go up to 25 in this leg. It's just going to be about how much damage can the Hungarians do. And again, huge questions being asked of this French team. They look so comfortable all day, but suddenly they're under real pressure. 7 hits down, and not one of them yet has looked capable of really taking this fight to the Hungarians. Playing a risky game here. 7 hits already, the gap. And he drives forward again, and the Berta again is able to pick him up. 8 hits. 8 hits the difference. This is a massive lead now for Hungary. Daniel Berta doing exactly what the Hungarian team would want him to do. He's just sitting there. If you look at him, the way he fences, he's so compact. He doesn't give anything away. Works behind his guard, works behind his point. And if there's a mistake, he's there, he's balanced, and he's ready to take advantage. Canon eventually manages to drive through. More of that. These two will be handing over to Redley and Burrell. Redley really got this Hungarian ship going with his leg against Bardenay. You know what he's capable of. He scores, and he can score very, very quickly. Canon is now really starting to motor. The gap is back to 5. After all of that, though, he's still only back to where he started. He's gonna need to. We're gonna need to see more. And again, as he goes on the shoulder. Six hits. The gap is stable. Bertha has scored 5 in this leg. Canon has scored 4. And again, over the top for Bertha to be able to score. It's been a high tempo leg, this one. Canon comes on against Sikloshi in a few legs' time. It's going to be fireworks in that leg if Canon fences in with this kind of tempo again. And again from Canon. Out there in front a couple of times, but Canon has always reined him back in. Now the question is, okay, here we go. Canon driving in. He's ahead on the scoring in this leg. 20 seconds remaining. 4 hits now the gap. What has Romain Canon got? And he drives down to the foot. Suddenly Romain Canon, a difficult moment for Canon. He was really struggling in the first part of this match. Felt like Bertha was just going to score on him at will, but he kept going, he kept the pace up. I wonder if Burrell will look at this and say, yeah, I fancy that. Huge experience from Burrell, and for anyone who knows and has watched him, you know how fast he likes to fence, how much he likes to get on top of his opponents. Seconds gone. And Burrell drives through. Just wonder, as the momentum started to tip in the French's favour, how does Redley play this leg? Does he look to try and go out and match Burrell, or does he sit and contain like he was doing, like he did so effectively against Bardenay? In close, unable to retreat, unable to go forwards, picked off. Still plenty of time left, still plenty of score left to play with in this round. See Redley just not giving ground as readily as he was against Bardenay. Doesn't want to find himself overwhelmed by Yannick Burrell, because that's what happens. Even if he doesn't get you with the powerful attack, he can still whip it round, clear out your blade and score as it gets in close. Redley just backing off. Back to where he likes to be, but Burrell draws him forwards. France in the midst of just clawing their way back to parity here. Nothing here, the referee just says nothing in that, just came together, let's reset please. Burrell just goes back to work. Redley staying disciplined, staying focused. And this time Redley jumps, Burrell scores, even 2. But more importantly, 25 apiece, a minute and a half to go. Yannick Burrell and Romain Canon have just drawn France back level. And now he scores over the top. This is now dangerous. You worry if Yannick Burrell starts to get onto one of his one of his hot streaks. Oh, what a riposte from Burrell. He clears the blade of Andras Redley and takes all the time in the world to land the riposte. And for his trouble, Redley is shown a yellow card. He forced the body-to-body contact to try and avoid being hit. But even still, Burrell is able to score 27-25. There's only 2 legs ago. The score was 16-11 for Hungary. These middle 3 matches, the French have looked so strong. What you worry now, you've got Romain Canon coming back on against Sikloshi in the next leg. Is allowed a lead. We saw what he can do against the Italians. 28-26. 2 hits or 40 seconds. Burrell drives in. Close 30 seconds. Redley needs 3. The individual score in this leg is 9-4. It's a big turnaround for France. Redley's first single in a long time. 25 seconds. You feel that this will go the distance to 30. Burrell pressing, drops back, 15 seconds. Redley just not biting, staying very calm, very focused. 5 seconds to go. Burrell just picking around the wrist, asking the question, and he drops. 29-28. Big performance from Yannick Burrell. And this is interesting again. So like against Russia, for this 3rd leg, the Hungarians have brought on Tibor Andrasfi for the 7th leg. It looks like a pre-planned, deliberate substitution as part of the match strategy rather than a response to anything. You'd be surprised if it was a response to something. Sikloshi has fenced well today. He's fenced well all match. Remember, the French now holding a slender 1-hit lead. Canon so effective when he was chasing, when he was pushing against Buerta. Now, but what we saw with Andrasfi, and just accelerated away. He'll have had all match to look. He's been watching Canon. And he'll come on and he will have a very specific job to do for this Hungarian team. Go up to 35 here. What will be the effect of this substitution on the match? Andrasfi coming on. Canon, you would think, has already proven that it was worth him coming in after he turned around against Buerta. Gave France some impetus. Can he? The question will be, still 1 minute 52 on the clock. There's a long way to go in this leg. Canon has just raised the tempo of this French team. Andrasfi, what can he do here? Just check that French momentum. Both drive in and score, but Canon, 1 minute 32 remaining. Canon is just always still pressing. He's got the 2-hit lead, but he still wants to drive forwards. Lightning fast at the moment that he chooses to go.
weil der
Very
französische
difficult
Fechter
for
bereits
Andrasby.
an seinem Konkurrenten vorbeigelaufen war.
Big attack from Canon. He draws it on. Still 2 hits. The gap. 2 hits needed for Canon to close and hand over to Gustin. Andrasby catches and he'll hand over to Gustin. Andrasby would love to be able to take some more out of this. There's still over a minute to go, and there we go. Andrasby over. Andrasby would dearly love to be able to get one more back so that at least to hand over something good for Redley. Canon, if he can get that 2-hit lead back out, be very happy handing over to the defensively excellent Ronan Gustin. And another direct flash from Andrasby. .43 seconds, 34 all. And there we go, Canon. You can hear from the French team how much that hit meant to them. 1-hit lead against him to Sikloshi when he was trying to chase the lead, but now he's got the tiniest margin ahead. Redley will have to chase. Redley will have to push. And Gustin so effective on defense. Redley, we've seen how comfortable he is when he's at his back line. What about now? He's going to have to come forward. He's got 1 minute in which to try and score a hit. He'll find himself on the receiving end of a P penalty card. Immediately Gustin fencing this one very differently to how he was required to fence it against Sikloshi. Much more comfortable, just dropping back. Where he can create opportunities, so good around the wrist. Just drifting into distance and then fading out with the point. Long lunge from Ronan Gustin. Leg. You've seen how effective Berta is at closing out. This is starting to go against the run of their plan, and it means that France are in danger of handing over a lead to Yannick Borel. Against Italy, he was ruthless. 5-0 against Garozzo in the 9th. It's just not a risk that Hungary want to take. But it's another for Gustin. 3 hits the lead. At its biggest, this lead was 6 hits. When Canon came on and Berta scored those early hits, we started to wonder if maybe it was slipping away from France. But persistence from Canon, and then a domineering leg from Yannick Borel, and then more from Canon. Just put France in this position, 37-34 up ahead. This time he drives in, Red. Just a minute to go now. Redley would dearly love to be able to get one more. And there he is. Drives. 52 seconds remaining. Still a long time. Complexion of this match could change in the next 52 seconds. Inside the final minute as well, so they're both free to fence without that gnawing feeling in the back of the unwillingness to fight rule. wonder if maybe just look to hold out, not make mistakes. Seconds remaining, both probing, both still testing. There's not that same urgency. Redley doesn't need to press. 5 seconds remaining, there's maybe one more in it, and it's a double. 7. 3, 2, and they will close out. Honours even between the two excellent defensive holders. Berta has been a superb finisher for Hungary all day. He's never been in a position where he's had to get back hits. He's always been the one in the lead. His teammates having delivered him to this final leg with a comfortable cushion. And immediately, Berta looks to go. Burrell scores over the top. Berta drives in. One apiece, 39-38. Doubles out, but all that does at the moment is just inch us closer to that final score of 45. And again, Berta, long attacks. We've seen these long attacks that he can deliver. But Burrell is content. He's not trying to defend himself against them. As soon as he sees Berta coming, that arm is coming out. He's landing this double. Three apiece in this leg. France holding a slender lead. Could all change if Berta scores a one-line and he 41 apiece. 1 minute 58 remaining. Now Burrell goes on the offensive, but Berta drives in and scores. And they take the even further. 2 hits the lead. Hungary, 2 hits from victory.
Möglicherweise nicht funktioniert hätte. In dem Falle hätte der Treffer nicht gezählt, den Daniel Batta gesetzt hat. Doch der Kampfrichter hat sich vergewissert. Der Degen war funktionstüchtig und damit steht es 43-41.
Herb start from
Traut Yannick Burrell offenbar
Daniel Berta.
Degen nicht mehr.
Weathered the storm.
Des Kampfrichters
Yannick Burrell.
hat ihn nun gewechselt.
Now he's within 2 hits of winning this for Hungary. Completing a remarkable day for the Hungarian team. The energy raising up. Burrell piling on the pressure now. Can he afford to let another one hit through? Berta! Guard line telling himself calm, calm, calm. Because Burrell is going to be throwing everything at him now. He's got to pick his right moment to go. Burrell drives through. Physicality of the Frenchman as he just overpowers Berta. They leap in. And again, this time, Burrell successfully defends. Berta's point stranded above Burrell's shoulder. Back to within 1. Burrell needs 1 to close. He misses. Falls to the floor. Daniel Berta has closed it out for Hungary. Incredible turnaround, incredible comeback from Berta. 8-5 in the final leg. You felt with France leading by 1 going into that last leg that maybe they had the slimmest of margins, but Daniel Berta, so precise.